Now, while overwhelming America's firefighters and EMTs, Kamala Harris's open border policy, it's also depleting our budgets. New York City Mayor Eric Adams, not a fan of mine or President Trump, said that illegal immigration will destroy New York City due to the huge financial strain, which is about $12 billion over the next 3 years, and that's just in New York City. The mayor announced sweeping budget cuts that would slash $300 million from the fire department and cut the number of police officers to the lowest level since the 1990s. And it's the same story all over the United States of America. Illegal immigration cost Chicago taxpayers $361 million last year. Denver is shelling out $180 million. Washington, D.C. is paying $36 million. If we don't secure our border soon, my friends, our cities are going to have to cut vital police, fire, and emergency medical services to the bone. And it's you who's going to suffer, and it's the people you serve who are going to suffer. We shouldn't be forced to spend billions of dollars on people who aren't even supposed to be here. We should be spending that money on schools, police and fire departments, and our citizens. And under President Donald J. Trump's leadership, we will. Now here's another promise, not just a promise based on some plan that's written on a website, but based on the real record. When Donald Trump is president, we won't sit on our hands while rioters and arsonists burn down American cities like they did to Minneapolis in 2020. Now, I'd ask you to remember the scene back in the summer of 2020, state troopers in full riot gear protecting the firefighters of Minneapolis from the rabid mob that was torching down that city. And we have to ask, why were they doing it? And part of the reason they were doing it is because people like Tim Walz invited those rioters into Minneapolis, and it was people like Donald Trump who were trying to send in the National Guard to protect them, to protect you. And we sure as hell will not bail out the criminals like Kamala Harris did. The criminals, many of whom were going after our firefighters as they tried to keep our cities safe and put out the fires. We're going to put criminals behind bars where they belong, and we will always stand with the courageous firefighters and the first responders who keep this country safe every single day.